Cone primitive. A cone can have a circular or elliptical base and they converge at a single point, or it can be truncated at top. So let's go and take a look up in our modeling panel, and we hit the down arrow and we're going to go to cone. It's going to ask us for a center point of the base, and so I'm going to say 0, 0, 0, and I'm going to hit enter, and now it's going to ask us for our radius, and so I'm going to say I want a 4-inch radius, and now it's going to ask us for height, and I'll say I want an 8-inch height, and so it just made a cone. Alright, now we have other ways of picking our circular part, so let's go and take a look at that. I go and hit the down arrow and hit cone. If it doesn't show up there, I can choose the 3-point, for example. I say 3 points. I can pick any 3 points on the screen, and that will drive then, anytime we have 3 points, only one circle can go through those points, and then I can go up and pick 8 as my height. I could also go and choose a 2-point, so I'm essentially picking the first point of the diameter and the second point of the diameter, and then I'm giving it some height such as 8. So we have a variety of ways of showing a circular one. Now let's go and take a look at an elliptical cone. I'm going to go cone, I come down here and I choose elliptical, and now it says alright, pick the first end point. Now I can pick the other end point, and now I can pick the minor axis, right? So I'm just going to visually pick, and now I pick the height, and so I'll say 8. And so at this point here, let's go and take a look at the bottom. So elliptical cones actually have an oval shape on the bottom, all right? So we have an oval shape on the bottom. And let's go back to where we were here. And now let's go and put, instead of an elliptical cone, let's do a truncated cone. So now I go up to a cone, and I can do a center point. So I'll pick a center point out here. I'll pick a radius of say 4. And then instead of picking the top point, I want to come down and do a top radius. So I say a top radius, and I say I want a top radius of 2 inches. And now I drag it up, and I'm going to say I want it 8-inch tall. And now it's 8 inches tall with a 2-inch radius at the top. So it gives me a truncated cone. So the cone typically has 2 types of bases, either circular or an elliptical. It can be all the way to a point, or it can be truncated. And the truncated cone then will ask you what the top radius of that is. If it's set to 0, it's actually to a point then. So the cone command is found over here in the modeling tab, and it's in the list of primitives.